Hello lovely people, how are you today? Welcome to my review of the 2013 winner of the Man Booker Prize, The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. As I've mentioned in a previous video, the Man Booker Prize is my Oscars. I follow the prize from the long list to the short list to the eventual winner. I just love it so much. Do you like novels with very simple linear plots, with only a handful of characters that is, easy to follow? Well, don't go near the Luminaries, because this novel's about as linear as a roundabout and has 20 main characters. Seriously, you'll be so glad that they printed a character list at the front of this. So this novel is kind of split into two parts. At the very beginning of this novel, a man named Walter Moody walks into a room of 12 men. They are there to discuss a series of unsolved crimes. Walter Moody soon becomes the 13th man. The crimes and mysteries that they're discussing involve a dead man, a man who has disappeared, and the attempted suicide of a prostitute. And each of the men in the room are there to discuss the events leading up to the meeting in the room. Now, of course, they must go through all 12 men, so that takes around the first 300 pages. That is essentially part 1. And the rest of the novel, up to page 832, involves what happens after the meeting of the 13 men. Now that, of course, is just such a completely boiled down synopsis of the book. I mean, so much happens in this book that if one were to write a synopsis of it, that synopsis in itself would be a novel. I read a review of this book the other day which said the line that this was a parody of a Victorian novel, and that is exactly what it is. It's a parody. It's written in the style and in the register of a Victorian novel, which is of course really interesting and odd for a book that was printed in 2013. If I were to categorise this in a bookshop, I'd put it under historical fiction, very much so. But this novel is so incredibly complex, and it has a kind of ingrained astronomical side to it. It's all just, how do I describe it? Okay, imagine a jigsaw, and you're reading through the novel, and you put piece by piece in, and you're like, oh yes, I can kind of get the whole picture by now. But then there's about 100 pages left, and you see that some of the main pieces that, you put that part together to start, you put that part together at the middle, they have pieces missing from them. And the last 100 pages reveals those pieces, so that they all come together, and the stuff from the start makes sense, the stuff from the middle now makes sense because this happened and this happened, and it all just unraveled. It's like when Hercule Poirot, he reveals the mystery, but that happens 10 times over, and it's just so much more complex. Do not be put off by its size. Yes, it is 832 pages long, but this novel needs to be 832 pages long. The Luminaries is amazing. This novel is amazing. And it's so amazing to think this is the biggest book that's ever won the Man Booker Prize by the youngest ever author. Eleanor Catton is 28. Guys, she's 28. How is that even possible? I was going through my Goodreads earlier, and at least 30 people that I'm friends with have this as to read. And I hope that this video finally changes that to currently reading. So yes, if you enjoy 1860s gold rush New Zealand, or you are a modern reader and you just want to dip into the past for a bit, The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. Oh my goodness gracious, read it now! There's of course a link down below to buy The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. It is my book depository affiliate link. If you buy The Luminaries with that link, I get the smallest, most measly amount of money ever. So yeah, do that. Woo! Man Booker Prize! Shasha!